Imagine the incredible scale. 90 million passengers a year, more than the entire population of Germany. And all these people pass through a single airport, Dubai International. It's not just a transportation hub, but a true center of global aviation, where every 3 minutes a massive airliner lands, and alongside it, private jets worth hundreds of millions of dollars touch down on the same runway. But here's the surprising part. The authorities in Dubai plan not to expand or modernize this airport, but to close it. Sounds like madness, doesn't it? A city that built its identity around this airport, a city that invested billions of dollars to turn Dubai International into the crown of global aviation, suddenly decides to abandon it all. Why? The answer is staggering. Dubai is not retreating into the shadows. On the contrary, they intend to build a new airport 5 times larger, capable of handling up to 260 million passengers annually. It's as if every resident of the United States flew through Dubai at least once a year. But this raises many questions. What will happen to the expensive land where Dubai International currently stands? How can such a complex system be transferred without chaos and collapse? And most importantly, why destroy the pinnacle of success to start anew? This story is both simple and ingenious. Dubai International appeared in 1960, representing a single runway in the desert, embodying ambition and faith in the future. Today, the airport is suffocating from its own success. The city it helped build has literally surrounded it on all sides. Look at the map. Dense residential areas, terraces, and skyscrapers are all around. There's simply no more room to build. But that's not the only reason. The world doesn't stand still. Doha has built a new shiny terminal. Istanbul has opened a mega airport designed for 200 million passengers. Saudi Arabia is investing billions in the development of the Riyadh airport and the new King Salman airport, capable of serving 185 million passengers. If Dubai stops, it won't just lose market share, it will lose its role as a leader. Moreover, by the 2050s, all buildings and runways of Dubai International will reach their maximum lifespan. Either invest tens of billions more in long-term repairs, paralyzing the airport for years, or take a step no one else would dare. And Dubai chose the latter, to close its symbol of success and build something that fundamentally changes the rules of the game. Welcome to Al Maktoum International, also known as DVC. This airport is comparable in size to Manhattan. The investment volume is $35 billion. 5 parallel runways allow hundreds of planes to land and take off simultaneously. This is not just an improvement, it's a challenge to the entire world. Imagine an airport that resembles a city of the future more than a transportation hub. At its center are 2 massive terminals from which 7 arms extend like butterfly wings. Everything is connected by underground trains, instantly transporting passengers from one gate to another. But the main thing is not the size. The real revolution happens inside. Forget about queues at passport control. Biometric corridors scan your face, and in a couple of seconds you've passed all formalities. Luggage is sorted and transported by AI-powered robots that track every bag in real time. Lost suitcases in Dubai are a thing of the past. Now imagine the magic of technology. The entire airport operates in a digital twin format. This means that every detail, from the plane to the passenger and the coffee cart, exists in the virtual world as well. The system predicts delays in advance, changes the boarding gate, and solves problems before they arise. The airport gains a brain that thinks 1,000 steps ahead. And that's not all. The new DVC is located right next to the Jebel Ali port, one of the largest container terminals in the world. For the first time in history, cargo can be transferred from ship to plane in one day. Imagine, engines for an airliner are unloaded from a container in the morning, and by evening they are already installed on an Emirates aircraft. Now about ecology. This is not just green marketing. The terminal roofs are covered with kilometers of solar panels, which meet up to 60% of the airport's energy needs. In construction, recycled materials are used and energy management is carried out using algorithms that maximize efficiency. The task is simple. The airport must operate with 0 carbon emissions and be ready for the climate challenges of the next century. But here's the question. Will they be able to manage? History knows many mega projects that promised the stars but left only mountains of concrete and dirt. However, The difference is that Dubai has repeatedly achieved the impossible. Remember the Burj Khalifa, the Palm Islands, this entire skyscraper paradise in the middle of the desert. The most challenging phase will begin at the end of the 2030s. The first new terminals will rise from the sand by 2032. Yes, today several low-cost carriers and seasonal flights already operate at DVC, but this is just the beginning. The real scale is 100 million passengers a year and more. The first to fully relocate there will be Emirates Sky Cargo freight flights. It's a clever move. First test all systems with parcels, then work with passengers, then begins the grand reconstruction. From 2035 to 2040, entire airlines will move at once. Emirates, with its giant fleet of over 250 aircraft, including the legendary Airbus A380, if they are still flying by then. Everything, from parking lots to catering and maintenance, must be transferred to the new terminals. Thousands of pilots, flight attendants, and technicians will have to adapt to the new base. But passengers have nothing to fear. Dubai is already thinking ahead. A high-speed railway will connect the current airport and the new DVC. The train will transport passengers from one airport to another in 45 minutes, and luggage will undergo seamless check-in. Checked in at one airport, it will automatically arrive at the correct location in the other. This resembles not an ordinary airport, but a heart transplant for an entire city, while it continues to run a marathon. 2,000 hectares are not just strips of concrete, they are prime real estate in the heart of a metropolis. And Dubai already knows what to do. Transform the old airport into a new city center. Runways where Boeing 737s and Airbuses landed for decades will become new residential and business districts. Terminals where millions of passengers pass through passport control will turn into technology parks and cultural centers. And the legendary control tower, which directed flights from around the world, will become a monument in the center of a future city square. But first, hard work lies ahead. Kilometers of runways need to be dismantled, and decades of accumulated aviation fuel must be removed from the soil. Recycling millions of tons of concrete and steel is a task that would seem insurmountable for most cities, but not for Dubai. This is a place where every problem becomes a new opportunity and old boundaries disappear, giving way to new horizons. Dirty and neglected land, seemingly lost to nature forever, can instantly transform into blooming green parks where trees will rustle and birds will sing. The places where planes once roared towards gates will be illuminated by solar canopies, under which cozy residential streets will stretch. And even affordable housing will find its place in this new cityscape. Dubai, always striving for innovation, is ready to dedicate the halls where champagne was once served, and first-class passengers relaxed to this purpose. This is not just the relocation of an airport, it is true urban alchemy, transforming everything that belonged to the past into the foundation of the future. And here arises the main question. Can they land this project as smoothly and flawlessly as their massive A380s? After all, relocating one of the world's largest airports changes not only the city's appearance but also the entire map of global aviation. Recall your last international flight. What were the chances it passed through Dubai? Now imagine that experience multiplied by 260 million passengers a year. That's how many the new DVC plans to handle. This is not just growth. It is a genuine gravitational shift in the aviation industry. Competitors are seriously alarmed. Doha is expanding its hub. Istanbul is increasing its capacity. Singapore is rebuilding terminals. Everyone understands. When DVC operates at full capacity, the rules of the game will change forever. Airlines are already engaged in paperwork wars, revising routes, deciding whether to move hub flights, change partnerships, or form new alliances. For some, it's a chance to conquer new markets. For others, a risk of being left behind. But even that is not the most important thing. DVC is envisioned as an aerotropolis, a city airport where the boundaries between terminal, residential area, and business center blur. It is not just a transit point. It is a new center of life, trade, and technology, from where Dubai aims to manage the future of aviation. It is not just an airport with nearby hotels. It is a city of the future, where logistics zones and high-speed trains, as well as digital infrastructure, make other airports look like museums. Here, Sea and air cargo merge into a single stream. Passenger terminals connect directly with business districts, and the entire complex is managed by artificial intelligence that calculates steps far ahead. This is not just competition, it is evolution. But for Dubai, the effect will be personal. Hundreds of thousands of jobs will appear in this new city. Pilots, engineers, programmers, hotel and restaurant staff. The Dubai desert will turn into a new center of city life, and the old Dubai International will become green neighborhoods, technology parks, and bustling areas. Runways will disappear, but in their place will be parks, homes, and streets where jet engines once roared. The environmental goal is not just a marketing move. If DVC truly achieves net zero emissions, it will set a benchmark for all future megaprojects. Every new airport construction in the world over the next half-century will be compared to it. But history knows examples where things did not go as planned. Berlin's airport opened with a 10-year delay, Canada's Mirabel became a financial pit, and the successful relocation of Hong Kong's airport was accompanied by huge overruns. Dubai is betting much more. They are betting that ambition, technology, and will can surpass physics, logic, and even Murphy's Law. If they succeed, they will not just win the aviation race, they will rewrite its rules. Look at the clock. The year 2035 is not far off. Can one city truly change how 6 billion people travel across the planet? Today, Dubai's airport is still alive. Every landing gear touch, every Emirates flight, every meeting in the arrival hall are the last pages of the greatest chapter in aviation history. The days of this airport are numbered, and there is poetry in that. Most cities hold onto their pearls until they crack. Dubai has chosen a different path. At the peak of its power, it abandons a masterpiece to build even more. For millions of people, Dubai International is not just concrete and steel. It is memories. The first flight, a long-awaited meeting, the beginning of a great journey. These emotions cannot be transferred to a new map. And when the last light goes out there, we will lose a piece of our own history. But if you look closely at what is already growing in the desert, you can feel not loss, but anticipation. DVC is not just a replacement for Dubai International, it is a statement. The future of human connections is yet to be written. And we still have the courage to build wonders, even if it means saying goodbye to the past. The risks are enormous. No one has ever attempted such a daring maneuver. But the whole world will be watching not only to see if Dubai succeeds, but also to understand what success now means when it comes to rewriting the rules of global travel. Progress requires sacrifice. Sometimes, to reach for the future, you need to let go of the past, even if that past was the most beautiful thing you had.